I'm Liz Findlay, and welcome to this podcast series on inspiring spiritual entrepreneurs. We'll be chatting with some of the wonderful business owners who come to Starseed Business Networking. This is a free monthly meeting I co-host on Zoom with Steve Nobel, and you can find details of the next meeting on the events page of my website, lizfindlay.com. Welcome, and today we have the pleasure of chatting with Francesca Zampaglione from Dressed Smart. She offers coaching to help people with mindset so that when they look in the mirror, the outer reflects the inner confidence. She offers courses and online presentations. So Francesca, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Liz. This is such an honor. I so appreciate the invitation.
Great, thanks. So tell us how you left the world of accounting in corporate and started your own business.
Yeah, there's a long story there. So I'm going to highlight and punch the best details. So I will say this, Liz, from the get-go. I didn't decide to leave corporate. My decision was in not going back. So it was really a tough time for me. I was dealing with three major things going on in my life. I had lost my mother. I had recently moved. And I had also, because of the stress of corporate, developed hypothyroidism. And that was an exhausting illness. And I just knew in my heart that I just couldn't go back to that environment. It was just too much. So, what I created while I was there, however, was a course to help young professionals because I was keeping in touch with a number of the accounting partners that I worked with. And they were saying, you know, Francesca, these millennials, they don't know how to dress. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what do you mean? Well, the young men don't shave their faces and the young ladies don't wear the right things. And I said, and he's like, well, I won't take them to clients. So I said, wait a second. You mean to tell me that you're holding back young professionals from being promoted? Because in my mind, I know how important it is to go along with, you know, the partners to the fancy engagements. He said, yeah, I won't take them. I said, you have to tell them, like, it's important for you to communicate this. He's like, I can't. I said, well, I'll tell them. Let me do that for you. So very first presentation I created was Dress Smart to help the young professionals understand that the partners can't tell how smart you are if you're wearing distractive clothing and if you're not paying attention to that, right? There's a direct connection there. So when I left corporate, I had this grand course that I've continued to work with, and I've even put it online, you know, during the pandemic, which was really a big deal, right? A lot of us were looking to learn additional things. So that's really the importance and the highlight of it, Liz, was that I'm here to help professionals with that image, because I firmly believe that people dress on the outside what they feel on the inside. So if I can help with that mindset, it's true joy.
And so, yes, now you're doing coaching as well to help the clients with that mindset and not just the image and the clothing.
That's exactly right, Liz. You know, there's a lot of fear and anxiety out there today. There's a lot of imposter syndrome out today that really holds us back from confidence. And it's a pillar in what has helped me in my success. And I'd like to help professionals with that shift and showing them how important they are. Like, we're all here for a reason. We are all here and meant to do something, and helping them with that and regaining their confidence so that they can feel justified in what they do. It's, again, something that just comes directly from my heart.
And you've also set up a podcast series to help people with confidence.
I have. Did you hear that excitement? Yes, I love my podcast so much. It's called Office Flip Flops. So there's, in the beginning when I started it in, mid 2021, it was just about dressing appropriately and why it's important to dress appropriately. And what it's moved to today is just inspirational stories of confidence, of leaders, of TED talkers, authors, and advice that they give us, even around happiness and positivity, advice that they give us to not just live our business lives, but our everyday lives and being a better human.
And so you were telling me that when you decided not to go back to corporate, that you then had the time to work on your morning practice. And so can you tell us a bit more about that?
Oh, yes, because that morning practice, Liz, is something that helps me and support my business today. So, going to corporate, I had a commute, which doesn't allow for much personal morning time. And then not going back to corporate, I wanted structure. I was so used to that structure, right? Getting on the train and getting my coffee and, so I needed to recreate something. And I created a practice that I use to today, which includes meditation, journaling, and affirmations that really help me set me and my mindset for the day in positivity, because there are so many distractions in our lives today. This is what helps me stay in alignment with why I'm here. And
Yes.
through journaling, Liz, I have had so many aha moments. I have found self-love. I have found happiness. I have found, just writing things out. And what I want to share is that journaling is that time when you're in present moment. Like we hear this all the time, it's best to stay in present moment. And how do we do that? Well, journaling is the first thing that I get to do, because when you're writing, that's what you're doing and you're thinking about and letting go, right? So I've learned about forgiveness through journaling. It has just been incredible how important that practice has been to me.
And you also mentioned a gratitude journal. And I found when I finally did a gratitude journal after so many people suggested it, my favorite part was actually going back and reading past entries and the memories. And it would bring such a smile to my face, reading all these things that had brought me such joy.
Right? And they can be so simple, like the roof over our heads, the food on the table, the fact that I have utensils to eat the food with, right?
Well, even one of my one of my entries was a young kid smiling at me at a road crossing.
Oh, that's lovely. That is so great, right? That's it. Smiling, right? Oh, I love that. It's so important. So yes, a gratitude journal in the morning and at night. And if you don't have paper near you, I keep paper everywhere, even in my car, because I'll have thoughts or I'll hear a song that'll remind me of something. But if you don't have paper near you, just very easily list 3, and I can guarantee you the list gets longer instantly.
You find more things to be grateful for.
You find more things to be grateful for. Yes, absolutely.
So tell us how you use hot yoga as part of your spiritual practice.
Hot yoga. My friend Liz, I've been practicing hot yoga for about 20 some years now. And some people think I'm crazy because in the heat, people can't think about going to the hot room when it's already hot outside, but it's a controlled environment, right? Everything's controlled in there and you go at your own pace. But what I've learned in that room is there's a lot of practices in the hot room that I live in everyday life, like the mindset, focusing, the positivity, just being still. Because when we're still, that's when all the messages come through, right?
Yes.
And listening. A lot of the practice has to do with listening to the cues from the instructor. So if we take that out of the hot room, there's always cues for us, Liz, right? We just need to tune in our listening. So I will say this, that the hot room has really helped me tune in my listening skills. And what's interesting when I see new participants come into the room, the reason why I know that they're new is not because I haven't seen them before, but it's where their practice is in stillness. So I will say a particular posture might not be so advanced over 20 years. But what is advanced is my stillness and my listening skills. And these are things that we definitely need in our everyday lives to help us succeed and just ultimately be happy.
Yeah, especially useful for star seeds.
Yes, especially useful for star seeds, right? Yes, indeed.
So can you share with us one thing that has really helped your business that can inspire us?
Yes. So I will say it's Anchor.fm. Anchor is where I host my podcast. So we spoke about that a few minutes ago. It's a free platform. And I will share this with you that when I started it last year, I've just learned so much, and it's an easy tool. It's very user friendly. And in one of the episodes, I shared that why it was such a big deal for me to have a podcast, because people ask me, why do you have that? Why are you doing it? And in a vulnerable moment in one of the episodes, Liz, I shared that I had a speech impediment as a child.
Oh, wow.
And that platform helps me share my voice. We all want to be seen and we all want to be heard. And this platform, yes, helps me share my voice, but my voice is here for others, right? With the people that I bring on and the messages that they share. So I will say that has helped me tremendously in showing my work and helping others.
And thank you, because this podcast, Inspiring Spiritual Entrepreneurs, is on Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, because you showed me Anchor. Thank you very much. And it really is as user-friendly as you say. Once you sign up, it's pretty self-explanatory, step by step, and it is easy for anyone who wants to start a completely free podcast without paying these monthly subscriptions. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I was so happy that we connected and that I was able to help you. And it's just, like I said, it's pure joy to be able to have a platform where we can share our messages.
And inspire others.
Yep, indeed. Yep, for sure.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your journey with us and your tip for your business. And thanks very much.
You're welcome. And thank you for having me on the show, Liz. It's just an honor. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye-bye.